Unfortunately, the first worker had left shortly after she was assigned to the first assessment, but the second caseworker assigned to the 2 prior assessments. We did those global comprehensive assessments and worked very closely together with him.
Did those consultations also help you to have an understanding of the issues that were presenting regarding this family that related to child welfare and child protection?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you about these referrals now, starting with the first referral. At the time of that being received in August of last year, how old was Olo?
I believe Olo was around 1.5 years.
And you indicated earlier that the concerns that were the basis of that referral had to do with there being an injurious environment with concerns around mental health for the parents.
Correct.
What information did DHS receive regarding concerns about Olo's environment that was concerning?
Objection, hearsay.
Go ahead.
The concerns mentioned in that first referral the department received were that there were active hallucinations by both parents, that child might be promised with 2 days of daycare, and the parents had, I think it was mentioned that father had access to weapons, and the recording party was very concerned about the minor child being exposed to the parents' mental health and not being cared for by a stable caretaker at the time.
What steps did Labor Human Services take to investigate those concerns?
So my prior caseworker met with mom and child at the Warren Village apartment they were residing at, and did a quick investigation of the concerns that were brought to our attention. I believe mom had mentioned that they quit taking their medicine, and that we had done feel bad, and I believe the mother reported to my caseworker at the time that they felt the government was out to get them, and it was reported that the father had weapons, and that they were staying in a motel and hotels and camping together. And my worker had observed the apartment, and although had a safe place to sleep, the worker noted it was a little cluttered, and let the family know that that worker would be reaching back out to them. And then shortly after that is when we received the second referral.
And I might have missed this, I apologize. At that initial meeting that occurred at Warren Village, you indicated that the worker that was assigned met with mother and the child?
So after talking with her and reviewing her notes, she met with the mother and child in the apartment, and father was not allowed in the building due to a no trespassing order. And then when they walked out of the apartment, I believe dad was outside, and the worker talked to father outside briefly.
So at that time, Athena, the mother, reported that she had quit taking medication. Did your worker have an understanding from Athena of why Athena had previously been taking medication?
From my worker's notes, Athena was diagnosed with, I believe in the notes it said bipolar and schizoaffective disorder. And Athena stopped taking the medication due to it making her feel bad. And I believe at that time, Athena stated she was using marijuana to help with it.
You indicated that father wasn't allowed to be in the Warren Village apartment due to a no trespass order, but he was outside, and your worker was able to briefly speak to him.
Correct.
Do you have an understanding of what they spoke about?
The notes were limited in that conversation. I think it was pretty brief from what I gathered.
Ultimately, regarding this first referral from the beginning of August, what was the outcome of DHS's assessment?
Due to the concerns of the first assessment, the departments moved forward with closing that assessment out. I believe on August 29th, 2022, the department received a second referral that we were working in conjunction to the first assessment, but the department did close out that first assessment as unfounded on both parents for child abuse and neglect.
And what does that mean?
That means that at the time, the parents were both able to engage, work with us. They appeared safe and stable to meet their child's needs, and there were no concerns at that time, and they were connected with other services.
You said that there was a second referral that was received on August 29th?
Correct.
What were the allegations that were in that referral?
So those allegations were also regarding injurious environment for minor child below being exposed to mental health concerns for their mother, Athena.
And can you elaborate on any initial information that was received regarding specific concerns as to Athena?
Objection, hearsay.
So
So can you repeat that?
Sure. Can you elaborate on specific information that was received regarding mental health concerns as to Athena at that time?
Yeah, so the referral the department received was regarding the family, mother, father, Olo, showing up to an emergency room. And at that time, it was reported that Athena was appearing very disoriented, agitated, was very, it sounded like both parents were worried about minor child Olo's safety and being hurt. And medical staff, from what was reported to us, brought mother and Olo back into an exam room because mother was reporting that she did not know who the father was in the waiting room, and it wasn't clear who was with her. So medical staff were trying to assess that. And when mother and Olo were brought into the exam room, mother was stating that minor child Olo was hurt, that
Danny, what's your update?
Yeah, sorry, I just actually do important things right now. But, yeah, no, as much as I've been...
Speaking, you're on mute.
Oh, yes, sorry, I was on mute. But, as much as I've been made out into a character that doesn't seem to care about anyone else's or my own mental health by individuals who are even amongst us right now, I was, at one point in time, I already had a mental evaluation way before this shit even happened. And I will provide documents, and they will match up with the times given of the statements that were made. So, all I'm doing is just getting that evaluation to you people. I'm not going to, give my whole medical record history like they asked me to, because we actually fought against that, apparently. So, that's all I need to do as of this point. My mental health and everything is none of their concern. They glorified making me look like a school shooter / someone who's psychotic and demented, and someone who's even, I guess at one point in time, Eric said so himself, someone who's sleep depriving Athena and using racism to get inside of her head or something. So these were all accusations made by Eric, even himself, and I will provide those documents when I can at your leisure, ASAP, whatever, but that's just where it is I am. I have important shit, I'm sorry, excuse my language, but I have important things to do, and this makes me look like I'm not capable of being in this position that I currently hold. So it's a bit amateur, if you will.
Rachel, then I'll go to Eric. Rachel?
Yeah, I'm sorry, and this is related to the topic that Alicia was talking about previously. I don't think we have the contact info for the couples therapist, or at least nothing I can see right now, so if you can send that to them.
All right, Eric, treatment plan.
Got a mental health evaluation done. However, for the purposes of our case, it needs to be within a certain time frame. Do you know how old that mental health evaluation is?
It was literally right up to what was happening, so I don't see how that's going to be a problem.
Meredith, I kind of have to defer to you. Are they good for 6 months or a year? I'm not entirely sure.
It's literally within the same month.
Is when the case started?
Yeah, that's when the case started. I was already receiving, the ability to want to help myself way before this happened, before I was considered a monster to you people. And, it's really just, scared me to want to pursue it because I know you people do things behind closed doors, like you have. So, that's just where it is I am.
So, I guess the department would be asking them to have a copy of the evaluation that was completed to determine if that's sufficient to meet the court order for a mental health evaluation.
Well, I certainly wouldn't do it with anyone you guys would recommend. I'd rather have someone who understands what Indian is at this point, because you all are very quiet about that.
Well, I guess I just want to offer that if a new one is needed, we would be asking that Denver Indian Health and Family Services, DFIS, would be the ones completing that evaluation.
Well, if anything, I will reach out to them myself.
Okay.
That's great, Danny. I will forward that information to you and your attorney then, just so you have it.
Well, I just don't appreciate, my mental health being used against me. Coincidentally, this all happened as I was trying to receive help from a Dr. Batliner there, who knows of me and knows of my struggle. But the thing is, I'll have to disclose who he is and what his name is because I'm court ordered to do this shit now. It wasn't like, oh, I really need, actual fucking help to help me because I have to deal with a lot of, trauma reactive shit that I've had to endure for years. Not fucking, oh, you're a monster, dude. You went off and did all this and you need court order this and that. The times and dates will match up. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
It's gonna make you all look horrible.
All right. So I guess I'm just wondering what's the best way to be able to share the evaluation to determine if a new one is even needed.
I will just have to go there. I just talked to them. I will have a release of information. Is there a specific place it needs to be sent to? Because that's the most I can, help you with. I wouldn't want you poking around and asking dumb questions to people who are professionals.
Sure. Getting a copy of that to Eric would be fine.
Oh, okay. So I'll make a note of that because I'll have to send it to Samantha, and she can send it because I don't want direct contact with a guy.
That's fine. That's fine. Samantha, is that okay with you? to disperse it to Eric? Yeah, with Danny's permission, I'm happy to do that.
All right.
Yep, she has my permission.
Okay. So Danny, another piece of your treatment plan, and I just wanted to check with you. I don't assume that at this point you want to do that, but is the Caring Dads program that's offered through the Spanish clinic? We had talked a little bit about it. Are you interested in receiving any sort of just clarification as to that program or literature about it or anything like that, or should I just send that to Sam?
Well, the thing is, maybe Samantha would like to say something. It's just, for me, I was already participating in a fatherhood program before this stuff happened. So, like, I couldn't even be there because of my work. I have car payments and all of this stuff that's been backed up because of this court stuff and because I don't get paid to be there. So I will allow her to speak now.
Go ahead. It sounds like there's not an objection really to participating in some kind of parent program. However, I believe part of the court order at the dispositional hearing was that the Spanish clinics program be investigated as to whether or not just the facility but also the participants in that program would be accepting of Danny's gender identity.
And that's also something that hasn't been addressed.
And my understanding is that program and that agency, yes, they are. I can't speak to the specific participants that would be joining that specific group, but I think we can certainly ask, like, when is the next round of those classes coming out, and I guess what is the makeup of that group looking
I'm
like
actually...
right now? I don't know if they have a full attendance list, at this moment, but it's typically a closed group, so you kind of start with it and go through all the courses.
I'm actually enrolled in the fatherhood program at the Denver Indian Center. I went there once before. I couldn't be there because of my work, but I'm also enrolled there now, and our classes start at the end of this month. And it's supposed to be this full-on thing. I get gift cards for participation, more than fucking CPS and DHS has ever helped me. So, I'm even getting an advocate now. So, it's better than what I've been receiving.
And that's through who again? I'm sorry.
Denver Indian Center?
Denver Indian Center.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is their program.
The fatherhood program there.
Yeah.
Okay. There.
I'd rather be around a bunch of natives than people who just, like, make racism seem like it only exists because I'm here. Something that's been testified to. No walking back.
So, any other treatment plan updates, Eric, that needs to be covered? No, I mean, we're just getting started, so I'm happy to hear, though, that Danny is enrolled in the Honoring Fatherhood program. And I will touch base with Lucille just to confirm that. And, Danny, is it okay if I speak to anybody there just to confirm your enrollment?
I have Samantha as my only contact to anyone involving my participation in the program. I think it's like a few months or something out of my time. For me, like, I'm not getting very much help or resources to help me with my bills or nothing because of the suspicion and everything. It's messed up my living situation, everything. So, before I go on a tangent and tell you about all this stuff that should matter, Samantha is my only contact. If you want your name on there, like, we can make a note right now and I can call them and let them, let you know. I'm sorry?
I think there's a few ways we can proceed if it's just confirming enrollment. Danny, if you're comfortable reaching out to them and adding Eric to that contact list, I think you can absolutely do that. However, if you would prefer that it only be me on that, I can reach out to them and maybe get a letter on letterhead confirming your enrollment that I can then provide to the department and the guardian ad litem.
I think I'd rather have you, Samantha. I just personally don't want an individual.
And I feel like in other cases,
Who
Denver Indian
said
Center
this?
has been really good with, I think when you start going, they might almost give you like a sign-off sheet or something for the dates that you've been there. And then at the end, I believe you get a full certificate and whatnot. So the certificate at the end of that too, that's something easy. You can say I completed all these classes.
I think if anything, I might do that. I just don't want individuals who are conniving against me to have first-hand access to people, behind closed doors.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that we covered what does it take for Olo to return home before we start to wrap up our meeting.
Is that something? Who are you asking?
So, I think there's a couple of things that need to happen.
It just froze up. I'm sorry. I can't hear anyone. It's frozen on my screen. I know I'm probably talking over someone. I'm sorry. But the phone froze, so
Are you saying you have to get another mental health evaluation?
they're trying to say that, but it all happened literally at the same time. And that makes them look really fucked up.
My internet went out.
All right, Daniel, is there anything that you want to cover?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to understand how someone could leave the country without a passport. Secondly, I want to understand, on what grounds or what basis, without any evidence, can a child be taken from a home? And I guess another topic, if you will, because I'm probably technically not even a human being to you all legally, being an Indian or whatever. I want to know what an Indian is to the CPS department itself. So this is just topics. Yes, I'd love my child back with me. I miss them, immensely. And I feel like that should be a priority. But if it's just about making up stuff and looking a certain way, then we can do that too.
All right. Alicia, on behalf of your client, any other updates?
Well, I'm sure my client has more updates, but I just, as far as topics, no further. I can break down what's in their treatment plan when we come to that one, but no further topics.
All right. Eric?
So yeah, I'd like to review with Athena what services she's in right now. I know that there's some that she started and some that she has discontinued, including, from what I understand, she's moving on from her primary counselor, what used to be her primary therapist, Joe Corso. I'd like to also discuss with Danny his willingness to participate in the mental health evaluation. We do have some service providers that are able to do that. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Anyone else have any additional agenda items?
I think for DC, what I would like to do is just provide some context for some of the things that Danny put on the list. When Danny's asking about the passport in the country, it came up during a shelter hearing that there were allegations that Danny had made a Facebook post saying that they were going to take Olo out of the country. That is something that Danny is very strongly disputing. Also regarding the removal of Olo, we do have a QEW hearing set for August 14th, where we are challenging the removal of Olo is improper.
Okay, and what is the OEW?
QEW.
QEW is a qualified expert witness hearing whenever a case is confirmed ICWA, which this one is. The department has to show that there was a serious risk of impending emotional or physical harm by the Indigenous parent or legal guardian.
Okay, thank you.
And I guess maybe, Bernicia, maybe we can wrap some of it up with just how do we move forward? What are the best ways that we can help move forward to getting to some of the goals that parents have laid out? What does that look like? What needs to happen for us to get there?
Okay. All right. Any other agenda items?
Yeah, could I make one? Oh, I don't want to talk over anyone.
Danny, what were you getting ready to say?
I just like to also put something out there, if you will. I just I just really would want to know, really at this point, whether or not someone from CPS made the allegation I would leave the county, or someone who is legal representative for DHS that said that I would leave the country when I said county. Because yes, I feel like there's some illegal doings going on with this. I mean, there were people literally marching the other day against CPS for not having any responsibility whatsoever. Well, this stuff has been happening, so that's all I want to say.
Also needs to be aware of the dynamics of the case.
Are they also aware that I'm a hypnotist, convincing her that she, racism only exists while I'm around? Are they also aware that that's something that you stood with? Are they aware of that, or is it just protection order, no involvement, no sign of having responsibility for your own actions? Because I don't see it.
They're not hypnotizing me, like apparently was said during the trial, and that's really sad that was said. But anyways, yes, we would like to co-parent. We were co-parenting. Yes, there was a restraining order, but we were together since the end of March. And I was hiding it because we had a CPS case.
In addition, Nick Sparetrack has stated that I'm a hypnotist, and I don't understand where that's coming from. But during one FTM, they asked if I was a hypnotist, and I said no. And so then they said that they didn't agree to meet with me. We were trying to discuss the parameters or the logistics of me going out there.